Hi guys, Paulette here, two travelers in Mexico. Mark's behind the camera, but you guys know that if you're tuning into our channel anyhow. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about medical and me. And the other day I ended up having an appointment to a dermatology department. And I have there's like a mole, well, kind of like just a red spot right here. And then I had like a little mole on my back. And so they actually took off the mole on my back. And I have like two little stitches. And then this one they use that, you know how they burn that off with that freeze. So that one will just, fall off eventually. But anyhow, what I want to talk to you about is I know that a bunch of you guys are retiring in Mexico and you want to learn more about medical costs and stuff like that. So I just wanted to tell you. Okay, so here's the deal. Yesterday, well, you know that Mark and I, first of all, have the IMSS insurance. That's the government insurance that we paid like $625 each for the year. And I've heard some good things. I've heard some not so good things, that it takes forever to get an appointment and so on. But anyhow, my neighbor that happens to live upstairs from us, he worked at the dermatology office. And so he got me the appointment and I went in on Monday. Today is Wednesday. So I went in on Monday and it's like internship that they're doing. He's doing his first year. One of the gals that was there is doing her second year, and the other student that was finishing up this year is doing his third year. So it was kind of different going there, and this was part of, what do you call that insurance, Mark? What is that called in Mexico?
INSABE.
Yeah, INSABE.
Although we didn't know it at the time.
Right, although we didn't know it at the time. Because I asked him, it ended up not costing me a dime. And, they were real gentle, real good, and stuff like that, taking the mole off my shoulder area. I mean, 2 stitches is nothing, so it was pretty little. But, I always say it's better if something's there and you're not sure, get it out of there. That's always my philosophy. So they just decided to take it off, send it down to pathology, whatever. But it was funny because all three of them and the teacher were all looking at, I had actually 4 moles, 4 different areas looked at. One on my leg, one on my shoulder, one on my chest. Oh, and one by my nose right here, little spot. When you wear glasses, sometimes you get an irritant. Anyhow, but it was kind of different because they're all using like this little magnifying glass, and each one is looking at each of these spots, and it was different. And I guess because you're students, that's how they do it, and that was fine. But it didn't cost me a dime to have this one freezed off and to have that one taken off and 2 stitches put in. And when I asked him why, it was because it was at INSABE insurance. And maybe Mark can explain more to you about that. But I think what it is it's like a free insurance, right, Mark? Mm-hmm. It's a free insurance that they offer to anybody in Mexico, I think. I think maybe you got to be temporary or permanent. I think you have to have a residency card. I don't think you can be a tourist, right?
No, it's for anybody.
Oh.
It's for anybody in Mexico. It's more like the welfare insurance, actually, in Sabe.
And when I was actually in there and they thought that there might be a fee, I said, because I didn't know. I mean, if you were having a mole taken off, like they got to take it off, you're laying down, like a little surgery procedure. And I don't know what that's going to cost, right, in the States, and we're in Mexico, so who knows? So I said, well, I brought so much cash, I don't know how much it's going to cost. And they said, because it might cost you something. And I said, okay. I said, so if it's more than I have, can I pay with a credit card? And they said, yeah. And then Though one student said, oh, it'll probably be somewhere like 25 US dollars. What? I mean, my goodness, just to get into a doctor in the US would cost you a lot more than that, right? So I was like, okay, not a problem. So anyhow, so it ended up not costing me a penny. It was zero to be seen. The time that they took, and they did a great job. I never even felt anything. She numbed up the one on my shoulder, and I was told, and everybody listened to me because I'm so bad at not doing this, wearing sunscreen or wearing a hat or wearing long sleeves, staying out of the sun, all that sort of stuff. I usually don't do that. So, every time that I get like a new mole or a whatever, I always have it checked out because I think that's the right thing to do. And I'm kind of grubbing it today, as you can see, with my sweatshirt, and Mark and I are just staying in today. It's, it's whatever kind of a day. I didn't sleep very well, so my eyes are red. I don't know if you can see them. I've been having a sleep problem, going to sleep really late, like 3 or 4 in the morning. I don't know what my problem is, so I'm trying to get back on track. So there you have it. If you don't have medical insurance, you can use the INSABE insurance in Mexico. Go ahead, Cito.
We do need to point out, though, that not all states in Mexico have signed on with INSABE insurance. There are 7 that have not. Morelia was one of them that had not signed on with INSABE insurance. So the EAMS is still very important for us to have insurance, which is the EAMS is basically the equivalent to like Medicare and what Medicare would be in the United States.
So because I thought that there was going to be a fee or something. Mark took care of that when they were taking the mole off my shoulder. Mm-hmm. But there ended up costing nothing. So there you have it. And I know that all you guys are, concerned about that sort of stuff coming to Mexico. What if you have this, or what if you have that, or doctor's appointments and all that? I seem to be the one that goes to the doctor more than Mark. I think you've only gone for your tummy.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, only for his tummy. I've gone because I fell down and I had this lump on my knee. I went because I was having like this lower like sharp pains that were by my back, and I had what'd they do there? An ultrasound? No. Was it an ultrasound? Not an ultrasound. It was I don't know. They did something. We talked about it in a previous video, and that only ran me, I think, like $66 for that. So I went in for my knee. I went in for this pain I was having by my back. What else have I gone in for?
Yeah, I think that's really about it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know I did 2 medical videos previous to this.
We've gone in because we had the physical done at our private insurance carrier.
Right, in Morelia when we had Victoria. And that's a pretty good insurance. I would really, if you guys are thinking about moving to Morelia, I would get the Victoria insurance, because that only ran us like, what was it, about $150 each for the year. And it included a yearly physical with labs, gynecology exam for me. They did a chest X-ray. I did a mammogram. All kinds of stuff that they did that was included that would run you $150 for that alone.
Yeah. And for the guys, they did all the things that you would expect that they would do for a man too.
Did they stick their finger up your butt?
Yeah, there was a prostate exam. Not the highlight of my day by any means.
But they did on him. They did like an X-ray thing, didn't they do like an X-ray for the prostate thing? That was different too.
They did a X-ray for the bladder. I had to drink a bunch of water, and then when I felt like I had to pee, then that's when they wanted to take me in right away to do their stuff.
Yeah.
And then they did that, and then then they had me go pee, and then I had to come back, and then they took x-rays of the same area again. So
interesting. Yeah, that was something that was new, and we didn't understand the whole process here in Mexico and why they did that, but I think that was to check that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which I never knew.
Yeah.
So there you guys have it. Like I said, in Mexico, insurance, anytime that you have an issue, I think it's really affordable. Even if, excuse me, even if you decide not to get the IMSS government insurance and you want to wing it, and pay as you go, that's an option too. There was a lady that ended up having a hip replacement without insurance, okay, that we knew here in Mexico. And it cost her, through going to a hospital, she didn't even have the private insurance, just to get a doctor to do it, going to the hospital. It ended up running her $10,000 US. What would that be for pesos? Do you know?
200,000 pesos.
200,000 pesos is what it ended up running her. So she paid that out of pocket for a hip replacement in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's unheard of. I don't know what something like that would even cost you in the United States with your copay, or maybe you don't have a copay. I don't know, but that's just...
Even after paying really high monthly rates just to maintain your insurance in the U.S.
Right. And a lot of you guys have also asked us about... like, what are you going to do, like, when you turn 65? Are you going to go with the, what is it again, Medicare?
Well, yeah, Medicare. I think we'll do the Medicare, at least Part A, because it's free anyway, and we paid into it for all of our working lives.
But I think the Part B, see, we don't know that much about it, as you can tell.
Part B is what you have to pay for.
Part B, but isn't that like the physicians or something fee?
I'm not exactly sure.
I think, see, we haven't looked into that. I'm going to be 62 this year. He'll be 62 after me because I'm the cougar. So we haven't really looked into it that much. I did talk to a friend today in Panama, and they kept their Medicare. Is that right? Medicare? Medi-Cal is for like
people that are under 65 and on welfare usually use Medi-Cal. Okay.
Well, the Medicare, I think he said he pays... What did you say that you paid? I think you said you paid like
like $150 or so is what they usually pay.
Yeah, I think he said a little bit less than that.
B.
But $140 a month, something like that. And then he was paying, like, for the supplemental, which he didn't get a very good one, was $25 a month. And he's in Panama, so he's really not using it. But, I guess as a backup in case you go to the United States and you need to use it, you have it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always, a crapshoot on deciding what you're going to do, because I heard that if you don't get the medical, if you don't subscribe to that when you're supposed to at 65, then it could be an issue, and they can also turn you down.
They can penalize you and turn you down. Right.
So, yeah, it's a tough situation when you're not living in the United States. It really is. I mean, do you go ahead and get it? And I mean, more supplementals are a lot more than the $25, and his isn't very good on that part, so he's going to switch it. But you figure you're paying about $140 a month, or $125, $140 a month for that, for Part A, which everybody, he said, pays the same.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess you just pay that $125 or $140 a month. Everybody does. And then if you get the Part B, which most people do, that can run you, I think, much more than the $25 a month. I think that can run you like $75 or something a month. So, you got to figure, are you willing to pay the $140 and another $75 on top of that when you're not using it? Is it a good backup just in case you need it? Maybe. I mean, if you can afford it and you've got that extra money, you figure that that's each person.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So right there, that would be $280 for us, $140 for me, or whatever it is, $140 for you. That's $280, and then the $75 let's just say for a supplemental, because again, I don't know. I'm just shooting the figures out here from my butt, you guys. No idea. But let's just say, no. So let's just say, another 75, that's another 150 on top of, what did I say, 280?
Yeah.
So that's, what is that, like
430.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just a personal decision that people that are coming up on 65 are going to have to make. Living in Mexico, it might be a little bit easier decision because you could still drive or fly back to the U.S. relatively easily, and do medical appointments and stuff like that. And it would come in handy if something were to happen if you were visiting the United States or whatever.
Right.
Like, I think we'll get, the Medicare, at least the first part, because it's free. Whether we do
free, it costs you $140 a month.
Okay, I heard it was free. So
I don't know. Well, that's what he was telling me. He was saying like it was 140. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. I don't know. I just had this conversation with him today.
Yeah, please,
Dan, had that conversation with you. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Please do your own research on this.
Yeah, do your own research. Like I said, I'm talking out of the corner of my neck, out of my butt. So I don't know because we haven't looked into it yet. But that, if you're not drawing a good Social Security or if you're not drawing a pension, that could be an extra expense right there. I mean, that's, like, what'd you say, like 430 a month or something? What'd you say?
Yeah, for 2 people.
Yeah, and some people, aren't bringing that in a month. Sorry, that didn't sound right. Cut. A lot of people aren't able to afford that extra expense of that living in Mexico, with that added expense, having to pay for that back in the U.S. when you're not using it, to bank it in case you ever do need it one day. It's like I said, it's a crapshoot. It's like, do you or don't you? I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. Leave a comment below and let me know what you guys think of that whole thing. I mean, I don't know what age you guys are at yet, and do you already have it? Are you not going to get it? Are you going to wing it? Are you going to get private insurance when you come here? Are you going to get the IMSS insurance? You're going to keep your, Medicare and supplemental B? I don't know. Like I said, I don't know that much about it yet. This year I'll be collecting my Social Security. Yeah! So I am happy about that. Am I happy about being 62 this year? I don't know. It's just a number sometimes. But 62, I don't know. It's kind of getting up there.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to cover this with you guys, let you know my experience. Really good care that I got. I have a follow-up in like 10 days for them to take out the 2 little stitches, but I just might have my neighbor who lives above me that works there take it out for me. I don't have any good scissors to do that. Too hard to do on my shoulder. So I'll probably just have him do it rather than keeping that appointment. We'll see. So.
And then in about 3 weeks or so, we find out the results because they did send that 1 mole to the lab.
Yeah, they sent my 1 mole to the lab. I think it'll be fine. It was just, like this pear-shaped little mole. And it was weird because, your moles don't look all that bad or, spots don't look that bad. But I tell you, when they had that magnifying glass, he was in the lobby area.
Yeah.
And they had that magnifying glass, and then they took a picture with their camera and they magnified it, and then they showed you, and which was really cool that they showed you all that stuff. You kind of go, that's what it really looks like up close.
Take that off.
Take that off. That's what I said. I said, oh, it's got marks on it, and you can't see that when you look at the little tiny mole. And I'm like, no. Get it off. Get it out of here. Not needed. Send it out.
Yeah.
So that's that. And as always,
what she did.
bye guys.
Bye.
Talk to you later.